Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I am so happy to see you here. I hope you're doing well and feeling inspired. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to resolve your problems fast. Always have in mind the teachings of Dr. Hewlen, who learned this Ho'oponopono process from Morna Simeona. And Morna Simeona was the person responsible for updating the Ho'oponopono process. So traditionally in Hawaiian culture, when people had problems, they would perform a Ho'oponopono group meeting. So people would gather together to try to resolve their problems by listening to one another, by speaking to one another, right? And people would have the opportunity to apologize, to ask for forgiveness, and to say what they had in their minds. So one person, for instance, could say to another, I am sorry if I have offended you, and please forgive me, and vice versa, right? So people would meet to try to resolve their problems with one another. Now, in that traditional way, to resolve your problems with another person, you were dependent on that person to show up for this meeting, right? So you could speak to that person, and this person would listen to what you have to say, and perhaps you would try to come to a resolution. So traditionally, in the traditional Ho'oponopono way of doing this cleaning, you would need to be in person with the people that you have a problem with. Now imagine how easy that would be, right? So the contemporary Ho'oponopono process taught by Morna Simeona and Dr. Hewlen, it is a process that was adapted from this original process, right? And gives you the opportunity to resolve your problems without the need to meet the other people involved in these problems, right? So instead, you can use the Ho'oponopono process to petition divinity to clean in you the cause of your problems. Now, what is the cause of your problems? You have many problems, but there is only one cause for all your problems, and the cause is your memories, also called subconscious beliefs or mental programs. So these mental programs, these memories, they are responsible for everything that is happening in your life. The positive things and the ones that are not so positive, right? So this contemporary Ho'oponopono process taught by Morna and Dr. Hewlen is called the self-identity through Ho'oponopono. And it is a problem-solving process. So Ho'oponopono means to rectify an error or to make things right. Where is the error? It is in the subconscious mind, and this part of us, the subconscious mind, is called the unihipili in Ho'oponopono language, which is our inner child. So, by the way, are you enjoying this content? If you are, remember to like and subscribe. You can help me to grow this channel, and then more people are gonna have access to this content. Thank you so much for your help. So, according to Dr. Hewlen, a problem is a memory replaying in the subconscious mind, right? And keeps replaying over and over and over again. And it is going to be replaying this in our minds until the end of time, is until we clean it, right? So, it is our responsibility to clean these mental patterns. So, the error is within the mind, in the subconscious level, which is that part of us that exists for a very long time. So, in principle, the Ho'oponopono process is very simple, right? So, what is a problem? A problem is a subconscious belief, a program that creates our reality without our conscious knowledge or agreement, right? So, where is the problem? The problem is within us, in the deepest part of our subconscious mind. And how do we resolve this problem? A problem, any problem, by taking full responsibility, 100% responsibility for the problem and cleaning on it. right? So, as I said, in principle, Ho'oponopono is simple. But when life happens, it becomes sometimes very confusing to understand that the stress we are going through, the sickness that is manifesting our lives, the money loss we face, and all the other turmoil that might happen in life sometimes, it is a consequence of a pattern called memory in the Ho'oponopono language, right? So we are living our lives, just a regular life, is all of us, right? And suddenly an accident happens, and the first thing that crosses our minds the majority of the time is, why is this happening to me, or a business go wrong and we lose the money, why is this happening to me? We get sick suddenly, why me, So naturally, when we are in the middle of such situations, feeling stressed, feeling afraid, and many times unsupported in the situations that we are going through, right? The last thing that's going to cross our mind is, oh, this is just a memory, I can just go ahead and clean it, right? But this is exactly what it is. It is a memory that's causing a problem. And this problem, whatever problem this is, it is also an opportunity, right? For we see, well, I have memories, I have subconscious patterns. So let me go ahead and do something about this. So we can think of a memory as being like a weed, the weeds that grow in gardens or in whatever nature. Sometimes have weeds, right? And sometimes you try to clean the weeds by cutting the weeds, the top of the weeds, right? It doesn't resolve the problems because the root system of the weeds is there still, right? So we cut the top of the weed, but the weed is there still and it's gonna grow back, right? So the only way we can get rid of weeds is if we pull out all the root system, We have to take all the system out, and then there is no more weed to grow in the soil, right? The weed is not going to regrow. So the Ho'oponopono cleaning is like pulling up the root systems of our memories, which was where we do not know. Only divinity knows what needs to be cleaned. We do not know. Our job is to choose to clean, right? To petition to divinity to release all this toxicity that we have within us. So that's why it's so important to do the cleaning every day as much as you can, because our subconscious mind is like a gigantic garden and it is filled with weeds, right? So the main premise of the Ho'oponopono is that we are 100% responsible for everything that we experience in our lives. Everything. Because everything that we experience has been created by us from our memories in our subconscious mind. Everything from small little situations to very large situations, right? So we all have a lot of weeds in our garden, and it is our responsibility to clean this garden without feeling guilty, right? Because Ho'oponopono is not about guilt. Oh, I did this to myself. No, no, no. But this is guilt, right? Feeling guilty is not very healthy. But Ho'oponopono is about responsibility, and to take responsibility for our mental patterns brings us freedom and empowerment. Because think about, who is going to take responsibility for the mental patterns that we have? Nobody else can do that, right? Only we can do that. So, how can we resolve our problems fast? The first tip is make the Ho'oponopono cleaning your way of life. Clean every day a little bit, right? Keep reminding yourself that your subconscious programs are creating your problems, and you can help yourself by cleaning consistently. Now, the second tip is, when the problems happen, and they do all the time, right? From small problems to large problems, pause, take a breath, and remember that you have a bunch of weeds in your garden. That's what this is about. So, get to the cleaning. You can just jump in immediately. I love you, I love you, I love you. That will do for you. Now, how is this going to help us to resolve fast, to resolve problems fast? Because, once we get to the cleaning, we are already in a state of self-responsibility. When we start our cleaning, we are telling divinity, I am 100% responsible for whatever is going on in here, right? And taking responsibility for everything is already half of the way. Is 50% of the work is this first step, right? So the rest comes easier and faster. So the opposite of self-responsibility is blaming and accusing others for the problems that we have. And blaming is a complete waste of time. We can spend 100 years blaming others and we will never get any problem resolved, never, ever, ever. So Dr. Hewlen used to say, did you notice that when you have a problem, you are there, right? So you are the common denominator. What is between you and your problem? You. What is between me and my problems? Me. I am the denominator, the common denominator, right? So Dr. Hewlen always taught us that, when a problem happens, we should ask ourselves, what is going on in me that is causing this problem, right? So we turn our attention within ourselves, right? So what is going on in me that this is happening in my life? So this question alone brings us to the inner space of self-responsibility. And then we clean using any tool that we prefer. We can do any tool is going to do that. So resolving problems fast depend on how fast we take responsibility for our participation in that problem, right? So resolving problems fast depend on how fast we take responsibility for our participation in that problem. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Aloha, and until the next one.